When I first heard that there was going to be rumors that Harrison Ford was going to be cast as Thunderbolt Ross, let me tell you my words together. I said that would be a very interesting casting. At the time, it was just a rumor because, that was what was floating around during D23, which is their convention that Disney has every 2 years. But at the time, which was about a little over a month ago, he was only there to promote Indiana Jones 5. They weren't talking about, him possibly being casted as Thunderbolt Ross. And at that time, like I said, it was just a rumor, but it was something that was swirling around pretty heavy because they figured he would be a good fit to replace the actor who is William Hurt, who passed away a few months ago. Now it has come out that now the rumors are true because the MCU has officially casted him to play this role. Now, this role is a recast because the original actor, like I said, William Hurt, passed away a few months ago. Now, that's going to bring the conversation of recasting T'Challa back around again. Because as you all know, back in 2020, we unfortunately lost Chadwick Boseman to pancreatic cancer. I believe it was pancreatic cancer. I think that's what it was, if I'm not mistaken. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong down in the chat or in the comment section, but I do know it was a form of cancer. And he passed away literally months shy of them getting ready to start filming what we now know as Wakanda Forever. Of course, with that happening, they had to kind of delay it a little bit, which is understandable because now it's like your main star has passed away, due to unforeseen circumstances. And the topic of discussion was, okay, who's going to recast T'Challa? Because T'Challa has so many more stories that he has to be told. And I said one of my stories that I wanted to see, and this could have been perfect for the setup of the X-Men, was to introduce Storm. Because as many people know or may not know, T'Challa and Storm are married in the comics. Of course, we know they annulled the marriage the writers did because they didn't want to see a literal black super couple in the comics. Like up until that point, I don't think it was really seen like that, if at all. So they had to find a way to ruin it. But the MCU, they could have brought it in and let it actually be a very formidable marriage. And then they ended up having children together. I know they had at least one child. And that would have been dope to see that, because I wanted to see that on screen. And I felt like when they decided not to recast him, I felt like we are going to be robbed of that opportunity and that way of introducing the X-Men into the MCU. So you could have killed two birds with one stone. But they said that they decided not to cast him or recast him because it was too soon, with his death. But circling back to this, William Hurt died this year. He died a few months ago. And now Harrison Ford has cast in his place. So now people are going to be like, hold on, the MCU now looks like some hypocrites. Because you said you wouldn't recast T'Challa, and you gave your reasoning as to why. Some people understood it, some people didn't. But now you're recasting this character who has been sprinkled throughout the MCU in the previous phases, and now is about to have his own team literally named after him. That's coming out, or supposed to be coming out, I'm guessing, next year or the year after. I can't remember the timeline. So people are going to be like, I don't know. And then, of course, you have some people saying, oh, no one really knows who the Thunderbolts are. No one really cares and everything like that. That's not the point. That's a get out of jail free card. It's the principle of the matter is that, like Chadwick Boseman, William Hurt died in this year. Let me get it right. Chadwick Boseman passed away. They said, oh, we're not going to recast him. Okay. But William Hurt passes away this year, and you already have a person to replace him lined up in the same year he dies. So now people are going to be like, what's really going on? And then shout out to Mad Black, because he did a video on his YouTube channel, and I'll leave the link down below, where he was talking about how the MCU was killing black male characters or black superheroes, I should say, not just characters, but black male superheroes, you know, when the actor may pass on, they don't want to cast them, or, you know, the stuff that's going on with Blade. Of course, y'all know in my live stream, I recently, you know, I talked about the delays with Blade and everything like that. And, you know, or not showing love to other black male superheroes that they have in their lineup, because they have so many black male superheroes that are epic stories that could be told. And, you know, they don't flesh them out like that. It's almost like DC, when all they want to talk about is Batman and Superman all the time. I'm like, they have way more characters than just Batman and Superman, but we know why they do it. It's because that's where the money is. But still, at the same time, there are other characters that are out there to be seen, which is why some people are glad that, you know, that with this Black Adam movie, and I say coming up because I don't know when this video is going to, I don't know if it's going to come up before the movie comes out or after it. You know, you have other characters that are being explored other than Batman and Superman. So with that being said, let me go ahead and read this article that's coming from Collider. It was posted today, October 14, 2022. It says Harrison Ford is joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe in what might be one of the biggest casting coups for the franchise so far. Film is reporting that the iconic star of Indiana Jones and Star Wars has been tapped by Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige to take over the role of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, which was played by William Hurt before the death of the actor earlier this year. Now check that out. It said he was tapped by Kevin Feige to take over the role that was played by William Hurt before he died. Now check that out. This is not after William Hurt passes that they made this decision. They made this decision before he passed, which means they probably knew he was dying and knew that he wouldn't make it to play this role, or maybe make it into the point where he could play this role. So they already had him lined up to play this role before he even took his last breath. My thing is this: while the public didn't know that Chadwick Boseman was sick from cancer when he was doing these movies, they knew. So you mean to tell me y'all couldn't do the same thing with him and have someone on the back burner to have a T'Challa in this upcoming Wakanda Forever movie? That's basically what you're telling me. Let's continue. Ford will be cast as Ross for multiple films, with his debut reportedly set to come in the upcoming Captain America New World Order before joining another ensemble cast. He will also appear in the team-up movie Thunderbolts, which was shown off at this year's San Diego Comic-Con. The film is designed to be the finale of the MCU's Phase 5, and the full cast was announced at the time. Ford will be joining Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, Olga Kurylenko, Hannah John Kamen, Sebastian Stan, David Harbour, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus in the Marvel's biggest team-up movie since Avengers Endgame. Ford, of course, has a long-standing relationship with Disney through his work on the Lucasfilm production of Indiana Jones and Star Wars. He made his return after 32 years to a galaxy far, far away in Star Wars: The Force Awakens, have softened in his stance against the films that he had taken in the years immediately following his appearance in the original trilogy. Following the death of Carrie Fisher, he then made another appearance in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker in a cameo role. His most passionate role, however, has always been that of the daring and bold archaeologist Indiana Jones. Ford is reprising the role for the final time in the 5th installment, and simply titled Indiana Jones, which is scheduled for release next year. So there you have it right there. I think the part of this article that caught me off guard was the fact that they already had one in the chamber, that being Harrison Ford, before William Hurt died. I'm thinking that they casted him, or they were looking to cast someone after he died, but they had him lined up before he died, which means, like I said, they knew he was dying, even if we didn't know. Just like I know that they had to have known that Chadwick Boseman was dying before we even knew, because like I said, none of us as the public knew that he had cancer until it was released to the public when he passed. So you're telling me y'all did not have anybody lined up that y'all could have possibly chose from to take over that role and keep this story going? Hell, man, that's crazy. That is wild to me. But in a way, I'm not even remotely surprised either at the same time. And knowing that right there is probably, if that is what makes people not want to see the upcoming Wakanda Forever movie, I would not be in the least bit surprised. Now, as y'all know, I review movies on my channel. So, and this is actually a discussion that I had with Kid Gravity, because he had brought that up. And this is a live stream we did like 2 weeks ago, before this even came out. Asking would I go see it. I said I would go and check it out. I said I would check it out to see what they're going to do with this movie, especially because, like, what kind of story they're going to lend us, considering the main star, or the namesake, is no longer there. But hearing this, excuse me, like this, right? I'm gonna be honest. Reading this actually left a bad taste in my mouth. I mean, nothing against Harrison Ford. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. I mean, nothing against Harrison Ford or anything like that, because, he's still a phenomenal actor. He's only doing what he only agreed to it, because, hey, what it is. It's a big opportunity for him, especially since this guy's like 80 years old. But at the same time, there was an opportunity there for them to recast the T'Challa character, now knowing that he got recasted before the actor who originally played him passed away. And again, it doesn't matter if Thunderbolt Ross is not this big character in the MCU. He's been sprinkled throughout, and he does have a role, and he has a whole team named after him. So that seems pretty big to me. So I don't know what that's going to do, or how people are going to feel about that, knowing this new information right here. Like, that part saying that he had the role before he passed really got me. Now, if they had said that they had casted him after the fact, I would still feel some type of way, but I wouldn't be so mad about it at the same time either, like I am now knowing this. That is insane to me. That is, I don't know. I really don't know what else to say about this. I'm going to leave that up to y'all. Y'all tell me what you think.